Good afternoon. Today is October 23rd. Silver currently is at 49.34 and gold is at 41.51.90. I wanted to make this quick video on a couple of purchases that I recently made. I think I did pretty well. So I got some junk silver. So I got a couple of Morgans here. Got a Kennedy and a quarter, a Standing Liberty quarter. I also picked up this 6 pence. I don't know if you can see that very well, but so there's a little 6 pence. And then on a side note, I've been trying to pay with cash every time I make purchases. So when I get change, I always look at my change, and in my change I got a penny that was, what is that, 1967, which means it's 95% copper. So that's always a plus. But what I really wanted to show you was, first off, I went to the gun show and I got this 1983 Libertad. I really love the Libertads. And this is going to be the oldest Libertad I have now. One of my favorite parts of that is this. It says Independence, and then it says Libertad on it, on the rim. But anyway, I was happy about this buy, and actually it was $30 less. I paid $30 less for this than if I had bought it online, so I was pretty happy about that. Then I went to my local pawn shop, and I'm starting to not like going to the pawn shop because they always change the prices on me when I'm there. But either way, they changed the price on me, and it was still cheaper than spot. So I moved forward, and I got two things from them. So this is I'll show you the first thing I got from them. I got this Morgan. I got this Morgan for the same price that I got these Morgans for. But the difference on this Morgan is, I don't know if you could see it. It's going to be hard to see. Let me see if I can do it this way. Maybe you'll be able to see it like this. Maybe not. Well, it's hard to see, but it is. It's just not going to show. It's a Carson City. This is my first Morgan Carson City. So, and even though I think it was $39, I believe is what I paid for it. But if you look online, those Carson Cities are not cheap. And so I'm really happy about that. I had this case that I had bought a Morgan from a friend a while back. And, obviously I took it out of the case and put it in a tube. But I'm definitely going to put that Carson City in here and relabel it. So happy that I got that. The other thing I got from them was, I've been wanting a Pre-33 for a while, but man, the prices are just so crazy expensive. So I finally got, it's a 1910 Indian head. It's a $2.5, $2.50. Let's see if you can see that. So I'm really happy about this buy. As a matter of fact, I took this coin and the Morgan to my local coin shop and had him test them for me to make sure they were real. Both of them were real, and he was really impressed because I told him how much I paid. He was really impressed because basically I paid about like almost $200 less than the value. So despite the fact that the pawn shop went up on their price when I was trying to purchase it, I still came out ahead. So I was really happy about that buy. While I was at my local coin shop, I made a couple more purchases. So I got this Johnson Matthey 10-ounce bar. And I picked that up at spot. And I really like my local coin shop because he always gives me excellent prices. And there's 2 coin shops I like to go to in Corpus, and so that was the first one. I got these 2 tested, and I picked this up. Then I went to my other one just to look, and of course funds are a little limited, so I didn't want to spend too much. But while I was there at the second coin shop, that's when I picked up these 2 Morgans, and I picked up these 2 Silver Eagles. And I kind of like the packaging. I haven't decided if I'm going to take them out or not. But they're both 2001. They have all the details there. So, like I said, I haven't decided if I'm going to take them out of the packaging. I might just leave them in there. I kind of don't like what plastic does to the coins, but then again, it might actually add to the value. So, but anyway, so just wanted to share some little pickups that I got. Again, I'm so excited about my Indian head. I mean, that's, like I said, it was such a good price. And like I said, I've been wanting a Pre-33 for a while. Just, like I said, they're so expensive. And they're going to have just a little bit more gold than my 1/10 ounces. And I think I've showed these before, but these are both 1/10 ounce gold. So these are both 0.1 troy ounce of gold, and this is going to end up being like 0.1, I think it was 0.12 or something like that. So just a little bit more gold. And then, of course, I'm excited about my Carson City. I mean, I've been wanting a Carson City for a while too, but the prices are just crazy ridiculous. And I always say I'm not really a collector. I'm more of a I like the silver. I purchase for silver. But despite that, you know, obviously I like the Carson City. I'm glad I got it. I love this. This Libertad is probably considered a collectible. But like I said, if things ever get bad and we go into a barter system and, you know, we're trading gold and silver, nobody's going to care that it's a Carson City. Nobody's going to care that it's a Pre-33. They're going to just look at the silver and gold content. And that's why I like to purchase things that more for the silver and gold content. But, you know, I do like collecting things as well, even though that's not the main purpose. And I'll give you an example. There was these coins at the pawn shop that they're 2 1-ounce coins. Can't remember what they're called, but they come in a packaging. Basically, these 2 are connected, right? And it's a dragon that kind of goes through the whole thing, right? And I remember seeing that a while back online. And man, I want to say I saw it maybe about a year ago or 2. And they were selling it for about $200 back then, but it's more of a collectible, right? The pawn shop was selling it for $200, but it's only 2 ounces of silver, right? So I couldn't see paying more than maybe 100 and maybe 150 tops, but 200, that's just way too much. And like I said, I'm not a collector, so I didn't take it. But anyway, it is what it is, right? I just wanted to share these new purchases that I got, and probably not going to be purchasing for a while. As many of you know, I've been kind of unemployed for a week. So although I do start a new job on Monday, so that's great. But I'm going to have to rebudget and revisit. And, you know, it's funny because I don't mean to be a doom and gloomer, but I have a feeling that silver's just going to, you know, after December, probably it's just going to go crazy, you know. So I believe it's right now is the time to buy. And another thing I'm happy about is all these purchases that I made when silver and gold were starting to drop, right? You're supposed to buy at the dip is what they say, but if you cost average, well, then you're always going to buy, you know, every paycheck or every month or however you set yourself up, right? So that's what I had been doing, but obviously, you know, lost my job, so I was like, I better not spend too much, or watch what I buy. And obviously, if I need to, I'm gonna sell, you know. But right now we're good. So I made these purchases, not in a panic, but they were good deals. So I went and took them, knowing that there was a possibility I might end up having to sell. These purchases were made yesterday, and today the price of gold and silver have already started going back up. Again, none of us know what the markets are going to do, but you just follow the dollar, and you could tell that we can't sustain what we're doing as a country. So it's a little scary what the future holds, but like I always say, put God first. As long as God's in control, you'll be fine. And one thing I always tell everybody: put your faith in God first. Get out of debt second, and then third, buy gold and silver if you can, right? So, like I said, I'm going to have to slow down on my purchases for a while. Maybe I'll cut down to, maybe 1 ounce every other week, or maybe 1 ounce a month. I mean, who knows? But as long as I'm still moving forward, I guess that's what matters. But yeah, that's just me. Everybody has their own way of purchasing and doing things. But I would definitely recommend setting up a budget, seeing how much money you spend per month as far as bills go. Again, get out of debt. Stop spending money that you don't have to spend. And again, I'm not a financial advisor, but I've learned a lot. Ever since I started buying silver and gold. I started learning more and more. Zig Ziglar always says that you should, once you read something or learn something, you put in so many hours. I can't remember exactly the amount of hours you put into it, and you become an expert in that. And again, I don't recall the hours, but I have put a lot of time into gold and silver, learning everything I possibly can about them. I don't consider myself an expert by far, but with everything I've learned, I truly wish I would have learned this when I was younger. And I think most stackers say that, right? But if I had learned this younger, I think I would be in a better place right now. And, it is what it is. But again, everybody has to do what they think is right. The Bible does speak about gold and silver as actual money. The Constitution talks about gold and silver as actual money. So I would recommend that you, if you're not doing it already, start doing it, and set yourself a goal. Like I said, maybe 1 ounce a month. 1 ounce a month. That's really all you have to do. And unfortunately, some of these coins have high premiums, like the American Eagles have very high premiums, but that's what I love about my local coin store. I paid $2 over spot. If you go online, you're going to pay almost $10 over spot in some places. So, and then like I said, the 10 ounce I paid spot price. That's 10 ounces of silver. Now, on a side note, I will say that it depends on what you are planning or what your goals are. I like to buy junk silver, but I like to buy dimes mostly because they're easier to barter with, right? And I do have 1/10 ounce silver, but very, very few. I think I have like maybe 3 of them or 4, something like that, because it's easier to barter, right? But think about it. Let's say we get into a barter system and a loaf of bread, cost 1 ounce of silver. And let's say this is all I got. Well, I could try to buy 10 loaves, but they might not sell me 10. And they're not going to give me change. So it's probably not a good idea to go with this if that's the system we're in. But, maybe go with 1 ounces, right? Or go with the 10 ounces, right? Same thing with gold. If obviously, I don't know about your situation, but I cannot afford an ounce of gold. I wish I could. So that's why I go with the 1/10 ounce. But I will tell you this. It's probably smarter if you wanted to get an ounce of gold, to save your money to buy an ounce of gold versus buying the 1/10 or the smaller, the grams or whatever, because you're paying a higher premium. So if I end up buying 10 of these eventually, I will have paid more for 10 of these than I would have for 1 ounce of gold. So something to consider, right? But anyway, I just wanted to show you my purchases, and like I said, I'm really excited about my little Indian here. And I guess I'll go ahead and leave it there. So go home, read your Bible. God bless.